On July 8th, 2008, I was blown up in Afghanistan doing a route clearance mission. It was 15 pounds of TNT and a Rubbermaid cooler. I sustained a head injury and a back injury. And then I got medically discharged out of the Army. I came back to New York and with my wife and my son, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I had no idea where I was going to be. I had TBI, PTSD, I had my memory issues. So I really had no idea where I was going to go, who would want to hire me. And so I got into the VA, and my AW2 representative at the VA heard of CDS and told me that this sounded like a good opportunity for me and to take a tour. So I came up and I took a tour, and I thought it was way too good to be true. And so I went back home and I thought about it for a week, and then I called back up here and I said, yeah, I'd really like to do this. I came back up here. They got me a 2-bedroom apartment in case my son and my wife wanted to come up on days out here. I went through all these tremendous, awesome therapies, and before I had memory issues where I couldn't remember what I ate the day before. I was paranoid about riding in cars with people. I thought people would follow me. I always had to be in control of the situation wherever I was. But now my memory issues are a lot better. I'm not afraid to go out to eat anymore. I can actually turn my back to people. I don't think people are following me anymore. And if it wasn't for CDS and the awesome work that everybody has done for me here, then I don't know where I'd be right now.
Good evening. My name is David Kendrick. In 2007, I was shot in both my legs by a sniper in Sauter City. And nobody thought I was going to survive. I got shot in my femoral artery. The bullet shattered my femoral artery, shattered my femur. It did a lot of nerve damage. I lost the use of my toes on my left leg. And I laid in the hospital in Colorado Springs in 2007. And I met someone at the time. It was General Mixon. You know him as Robert Mixon. But at the time, he said, if you need anything, you can come to Rochester, you can look me up. At the time, I was a PFC, and I thought, yo, this general won't remember me when I got to the hospital. But 3 years later, it was June of this year, I was medically discharged, and didn't have anywhere to go. Didn't have any money coming in. Everyone told me as a Cav Scout, I didn't have the desirable employment skills that employers wanted. So I thought, where would I go? What would I do? You know, I was on the verge of being homeless. And I was given General Mixon's number, and he said, come on down to the Hard Road facility at CDS and see what we have to offer. And I came down here, and the program was great. I didn't have anywhere to go, so I got an apartment out in Webster also, and I work at the Blossom Road plant for Unistel. I'm a production supervisor now. And I'm starting to get those civilian skills on my resume so I can be more presentable to employers out there in the world. And we're going through skills like, yesterday I had a mock interview because I never had an interview before. I'm 23 years old, and I was in the military since I was 18 and you don't have to interview for the military. So I had my first interview yesterday. And today we went over what's wrong, what's right with the interview. We're going over resume skills, how to present yourself in front of employers. So the CDS program gave me a second chance because I thought nobody cared about soldiers out there. It was really hard, and I searched everywhere, and nobody wanted to give me a hand. So I'd like to personally thank all you guys for your time and for your donations, because without CDS program, I'd be on the street. Thank you.
My name is Christopher Johnson. I was set up locally at Fort Drum for 9 years and 7 months, almost 10 years. I had planned to make it a career in the military. I had a lot of deployments, that's saying, you know, I had a lot of deployments. Almost, I would have been on 8 if I'd have stayed in. Most every deployment, I got shook up pretty bad. but as most, most people would say, most soldiers would just kind of tough it out and keep going and keep going and keep going. Well, when I started getting ready to get out, my wife, Amber, who's here with me tonight, would say stuff like, what's going on with you? What's going on with you? You don't seem like you want to do anything. You seem really lethargic. I was having a lot of memory problems, and it was tough. It was really hard when I first came back, and her sister was a huge advocate of this program, and she pushed it on me and pushed it on me and pushed it on me. So me and Amber, we said, you know what, we're going to go check this place out. We came down and checked it out, and I absolutely thought that it was 100% better than any situation I thought I could ever get myself in. The staff here was just amazing. They were great people. They helped me every step of the way. Coming from a person coming from me, I don't want a whole lot of people to come up and say, good job this and good job that, and I felt like genuinely sometimes people say it and you're like, you kind of take it for what it's worth. But when people come here and they say, we're going to help you get where you want to go, where do you want to go and what do you want to do? And that's what they did every step of the way, and people say we salute soldiers all the time. I salute every one of you, because if it weren't for you guys, I don't know where I would be at. So thank you.
I think 3 weeks before we were going home, my roommate was killed by a suicide bomber. So it left me being the only female, and I'd lost my female camaraderie. And it sucked because she was younger than me, and everybody loved her. It took a big toll on our whole platoon. When I got back to Iraq, I met my future husband, and there was a few incidents that happened to me while I was on active duty, and it took a big toll on me. My husband didn't know how to act around me. He said I just changed. Every time he tried to talk to me, I'd cry. So he didn't like being around me. He'd just go off with his friends and leave me alone. And we ended up getting divorced. And I moved to Florida with my family, trying to go to school, failing every class because I couldn't be around people. I'd spend weeks without leaving my apartment. And I ended up having to pay the VA back, so financially it was really tough. And I didn't feel like myself. I gained a lot of weight just within 1 year of getting out. And at first I was really scared, just asking for help, and I was like, well, I don't have a lot of combat wounds and things like that, so I didn't know if I would fit into the program. But coming up here, it looked like something, it just seemed so homey, and everybody was so nice. It didn't feel clinical, or I didn't get treated like I was crazy. They take care of everything, they just welcome you in, we're here to help you and you can get better. This place has been awesome. I've only been here for 6 weeks, but I started working out again, and the most important part for me is the counseling. I can see myself improving little by little, and I feel hope for the future, which is really important. I can see myself getting better, and I want to stick it out no matter what.